Hello and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking onto this video where I'm going to review the Rom 4. So before I get into it, does anyone actually know how to pronounce this shoe? Is it Romaleo? Is it Romaleo? Is it Romaleo? I've heard all sorts of pronunciations for this shoe, so I'm going to call it the Rom 4 just to be safe. I bought this shoe with my own cash. Nike did not provide it for me, although I wish they did because it's a very expensive shoe, but more on that later. Yeah, I got these off Strength Shop with my own cash, and I've done a few sessions in these now, so this is a how am I getting on with this shoe rather than a first impressions. I'm going to do the pros first and then the cons later. And the first pro for me, and it's totally subjective and it's a bit of a moot point, but it is something that people do consider when buying weightlifting shoes, and that is the aesthetic of the shoe. I know it makes no impact on the performance, and that is what ultimately matters, but the aesthetic of it is quite nice, I think. I know, again, totally subjective, but I like the look of this shoe compared to most weightlifting shoes. Most weightlifting shoes look like bowling shoes. They're not the best looking things to wear on your feet, but the Nike Rom 4 I think is one of the better looking shoes on the market. Pro number 2 for me, and that is the double strap system that they have brought back from the Rom 2. The Rom 3 got rid of the double strap system, so it's nice to see that back again. The Rom 2, one of the best weightlifting shoes of all time, and really put Nike on the weightlifting map. Yeah, it's nice to see the double strap system again. I think the 4s are quite nostalgic of the 2s. A lot of other people seem to say that as well. Not as good as the 2s, to be honest, but quite nostalgic of the 2s. Definitely better than the 3s. Pro number 3 are the flared edges on the bottom of the shoe. It's a very stable shoe because of those flared edges. I quite like that touch. It's very hard to pronate and supinate in these, so it adds a lot of stability. That combined with the weight of the shoe makes it a very stable shoe. It is heavier than a lot of other weightlifting shoes. Again, that could be a pro or a con depending on you and your subjectivity. Okay, the first con for me is the size of the toe box. So it's not just my opinion. A lot of reviews say the same thing. This is one snug shoe. It definitely runs small. I bought these in my normal 9.5 and I could barely get them on my feet. It was painfully tight. So I had to go half a size up, and even then I thought, should I have gone a full size up? But these are just about right. So, well, I say just about right. They're still a bit small, but I think another half size up would have been a bit too big, especially around the heel, but I'll get onto that in a bit. Yeah, they definitely run small, half size up at least. I wish Nike would do a slightly wider toe box, and that goes for a lot of weightlifting shoes actually. The only brand I know of that boast a wider toe box are the TIRs, the TYRs, however you pronounce it. I just wish more weightlifting shoes would have a slightly wider or roomier toe box so your toes could splay. It just helps with your balance. However, there are some lifters like Sonny Webster who says he prefers a snug toe box and he's a much better lifter than I am, so again, that might be a subjective point. Okay, con number 2, and that is the heel cup. So the heel cup is actually well cushioned, it's comfortable, but it's just too slippy. So it's not a sizing issue because this shoe is still snug. My toes are definitely cramped in this shoe, but my heel is slipping out a bit. I can feel it when I'm walking around, and especially when I'm split jerking. That's not what you want when you're doing a split jerk and you can feel your heel just start to drift out a little bit. This shoe is never going to come off my foot, especially with the dual strap system. It's definitely locked down, but I don't like the fact that my heel is wiggling around a little bit. It's starting to slip out. So yeah, a tighter heel cup, ideally Nike, and a slightly wider toe box. It's the other way around at the moment. The toes are cramped and the heel is loose. Again, that is a subjective point. It depends on the individual's foot. So my feet are definitely a little bit wider than average, and maybe I've got a narrow heel, something I've never noticed before, but maybe this shoe has just highlighted it. However, I have seen other reviews of the Rom 4 where they say a similar thing. Toes are cramped and the heel cup is just a bit too spacious. So get it the other way around, please, Nike. A tighter heel cup and a wider toe box would be lovely. Con number 3, that is the price of the shoe, which I'm sure is a con for virtually every one of you. I mean, I've not got lots of cash, so yes, shelling out £170 for this shoe, nearly dropped it, is quite a lot of money. This is just a little bonus tip, but if you are buying these shoes directly from Nike, I would wait till the month of your birthday because you get 20% off for that entire month. So 20% off a £170 shoe is quite a big saving. And I know they've just uploaded a load of new Rom 4s to their website, whereas they didn't have them previously, they completely sold out, so I had to get mine from elsewhere, which is annoying in hindsight because I probably would have got a different colourway, but I do like the black ones to be fair. However, they've got some other nice looking colours as well. Get them directly from Nike with the 20% off on your birthday, because that's probably the cheapest way you're going to get them. Let's just recap this video then. So the pros of the shoe for me, again, moot point, but the aesthetic of the shoe, it's a nice looking shoe. I like the double strap system they've brought back from the Rom 2s. I liked the flared edges on the bottom. I like the weight of the shoe, the heel height, the sturdiness, and the build quality, to be fair. It is a solid shoe. I think it will last for a very, very long time. The cons, again, the toe box is just so bloody narrow. There's a bit too much space in the heel, so a little bit of heel slippage, and then the price of the shoe. So, knowing everything I know about this shoe now and having tried it out several times, would I pay the same price again for this shoe in the future? The honest answer is probably no, unfortunately. Don't get me wrong, it's a very good weightlifting shoe and there's a lot of top weightlifters that use these. Matty Rogers is one name that comes to mind, but the cons are just a little bit too frustrating for me. I think going forward it's going to be things like the Legacy Lifter 3's or the Tiers or the Antas or something like that instead, or the Rom 5's if they do make some improvements. So yeah, overall it is a good weightlifting shoe. It's a little bit pricey and those cons are just a bit frustrating, but this is very subjective. Again, your foot might fit this shoe perfectly. I just don't think mine get on with it as well as some. Thank you so much for watching this review. I can't say thank you enough. I really appreciate the likes, the comments, the subscribes, etc. I just want to grow this channel this year and do more review videos, do more training videos, do more educational videos, etc. and try and make YouTube a bit more of a regular thing. So thank you so much for watching this review.